Hola. Hola. Un vehículo de chapa BTF 907 color plata dejó las luces encendidas. Si puede ir a revisar, por favor.
Pero yo hablo luego, ¿no? Ok. Ah, genial. Dije, ay,
Good morning, everyone. Hello, hello. Let's start. Good morning, everyone. Bienvenidos. Bae Chapa, Hega. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the conference called Cerrito 2018 Innovation for Poverty Elimination. This conference will be held in two languages, Spanish and English, so please have your translators handy. Esta conferencia la vamos a llevar adelante en dos idiomas, en español y en inglés, por lo que les pido encarecidamente que se ajusten sus traductores que tienen sobre las mesas para disfrutar de cada uno de los panelistas. El canal 1 es para español y el canal 3 es para inglés. Channel 1 is for Spanish and channel 3 is for English. I would like very much to remark the presence here of our Minister of Industry and Commerce, Liz Kramer. Our Minister of Agriculture and Livestock, Mr. Dennis Lichi. Also, the President of the Legislative Body of the City of Benjamín Aceval, Marilyn Catebeke. And members of the Diplomatic Corps. I hope you enjoyed the opportunities that you had this morning to meet the TOVA-COM communities, others who went to the Benjamín Aceval's wetlands, and others who toured the Cerrito Agricultural School. My name is Raúl Gauto, and I'm with Fundación Paraguaya. And I would like to thank all of you for joining us this morning. Some of you have traveled 4 days, as Martin said last night, to be here, so that's really remarkable.
Hello, everyone. Hola a todos. My name is Beatriz Gorostiaga, and I'm from Fundación Paraguaya. We are incredibly excited to have you in Paraguay. I'm sure that you have all downloaded our Huva app by now, but in case you haven't, you can download it from the App Store. The event invitation code is Cerrito 2019, Cerrito 2019. At Cerrito, we are committed to protecting our environment. On campus, you will find different disposals for organic and inorganic waste, as well as water refill stations brought to you by Aquamac to avoid the use of plastic cups. We ask that you please turn your mobile devices to silent, but we would like you to still be active online with the hashtags Cerrito 2019, End Poverty, and Eliminar Pobreza. The emergency exit is the main door and the left door of this auditorium. If you feel unwell, there are paramedics and an ambulance available at all times next to the auditorium stairway. We have a Mercado Guazú at the Cerrito Gardens, where you can try many products of our Cerrito Agricultural School and check out Calm Artisan Women's Crafts. Near the dining room and near the Mercado Guazú, there are relaxing zones with sitting areas and Paraguayan hammocks. Don't forget to take advantage of these.
We would like to thank also CAF, the Development Bank of Latin America, Canada's International Development Research Center, PIRI Foundation, and Imago Global Grassroots for their support for this event. We also extend our gratitude to our local sponsors, Aquamac, Coca-Cola, Café Par, and Mercurio. Of course, we would like to also thank the members of the press for being here. The third edition of this event gathers participants from over 20 countries, so enjoy them all. I would like now to introduce our host, Martin Bird, founder and CEO of Fundación Paraguaya, to kick off Cerrito 2019. Martin?
Muy buenos días, particularmente señora ministra de Industria y Comercio, Liz Kramer, señor ministro de Agricultura y Ganadería, Denis Lichi, señora presidenta de la Junta Municipal de la ciudad de Benjamín Acebal, señora Catebeque, señores caciques de la parcialidad COM, amigos y amigas que han venido desde tan lejos y compañeros. Estamos en un lugar muy especial. Esta es una escuela agrícola técnica vocacional que imparte el bachillerato técnico agropecuario con el Ministerio de Agricultura y Ganadería y el bachillerato técnico en hotelería y turismo rural con el Ministerio de Educación y Ciencias. La idea original era de que los jóvenes pudieran elegir o ser bachilleres técnicos agropecuarios o ser bachilleres técnicos en hotelería y turismo rural, y nuestra sorpresa fue grande cuando todos los estudiantes optaron por tener los dos títulos de bachillerato. Cuando el Ministerio de Educación exige 180 días de clase como mínimo, en esta escuela generalmente hay 210 días de clase. Esta es un aporte de la Fundación Paraguaya a la sociedad de Paraguay y del mundo para desarrollar un modelo de formar emprendedores rurales que son capaces de impulsar el progreso de sus comunidades. Lo interesante de esta escuela es que no recibe ningún rubro del Estado. Esta escuela y los chicos, a ver si pueden levantar la mano los chicos, lograron ventas en el año 2018 por $700.000.
Wow.
Hay 14 microempresas en el campus. 14 microempresas en el campus que generaron una ganancia de $200.000 para pagar los sueldos de los profesores y la alimentación del internado. Realmente estamos convencidos de que la formación de emprendedores rurales capaces de generar empleo es uno de los caminos para el futuro de nuestro país. Así que realmente es un lugar mágico. Esta escuela ha sido replicada en diferentes formas por otras 60 escuelas de América Latina, de África y de Asia, y ha desembocado con otros programas como por ejemplo el concurso Escuela Emprendedora, con el cual llegamos a los 7.000 colegios de Paraguay, pero también llegamos a otros países con un concurso que en inglés se llama el School Enterprise Challenge. A mí me gustaría darle la bienvenida a Paraguay, a la Escuela Agrícola Cerrito. Queremos agradecer a los dueños de casa, los caciques, también a las autoridades de nuestra ciudad y al gobierno nacional por compartir este sueño de un Paraguay sin pobreza, ejemplo para el mundo. Quiero agradecer particularmente al Banco de Desarrollo de América Latina, la CAF, por su apoyo. Mediante la CAF estamos ya trabajando con el gobierno de Ecuador para llevar el semáforo de eliminación de pobreza para sus programas de desarrollo rural, y también a la agencia canadiense de cooperación y de investigación, IDRC, por el apoyo que nos están dando para no solamente implementar programas, sino juntar evidencia sobre qué funciona y qué no funciona. Porque ya no podemos implementar programas sin tener sustento estadístico de cuáles son las maneras mejores. Así que muchísimas gracias por venir. Vamos a tener 2 días de jornada muy importante. Aquí, por ejemplo, estábamos mencionando anoche, hay 2 compañeros de la India. Les tomó 4 días llegar aquí. Si no hubiese sido por la Cancillería paraguaya, no llegaban, porque en Brasil les cortaban con la visa. Pero son de lo mejor que hay en emprendedores sociales en el mundo. Una de las organizaciones es un sindicato de microempresarias de 2 millones de asociadas. Bueno, muchas gracias por esta oportunidad, y me gustaría pedirte, Joel, si nos podés acompañar con algunas palabras.
Buenos días a todos. Good morning, everyone. Un cordial saludo a todos los invitados, a las autoridades de la República, autoridades originarias, a los colegas que vinieron del exterior y a todos los amigos que aquí están. La Fundación Paraguaya, como dijo Martín, es un socio estratégico e incondicional de CAF. Mando un saludo especial a la Fundación Paraguaya y nuestras felicitaciones por la organización del evento tan interesante, novedoso y relevante. Es un evento, como ustedes van a ver, de interacción y aprendizaje, que se convierte en una plataforma y un espacio que son ideales para la reflexión conjunta sobre soluciones para la eliminación de la pobreza. Como CAF, Banco de Desarrollo de América Latina, me honra abrir este encuentro, un encuentro que privilegia la innovación y la colaboración. Nosotros invitamos a todos que aquí están a explorar y dialogar en conjunto, a que intercambiemos durante esta jornada conocimientos prácticos, lecciones aprendidas y soluciones efectivas. Cerrito nos brinda una oportunidad excepcional de construir y fortalecer un ecosistema de innovación social con énfasis en los más vulnerables y sobre todo con énfasis en las familias. De ahí la centralidad de los temas que serán abordados en estos 2 días. El uso de la tecnología para eliminar la pobreza, las asociaciones colaborativas entre sectores, las soluciones innovadoras y replicables y el empoderamiento. Estos son temas que la CAF impulsa con Fundación Paraguaya, en especial contribuyendo con la transformación del semáforo de eliminación de pobreza, la transferencia del semáforo a sectores públicos y privados de otros países. Lo que mencionó Martín con Ecuador es muy, muy importante, relevante, y estamos seguros que esa transferencia es solo el inicio. Y más allá de nuestra colaboración con el semáforo, CAF viene actuando en Paraguay en diversas acciones para impulsar el crecimiento económico con la inclusión social. Paraguay es un país clave de CAF en la región. Quiero tan solo reiterar nuestro agradecimiento y felicitación a los organizadores. Desearles un muy exitoso encuentro que enriquezca nuestra visión de desarrollo, pero sobre todo que genere beneficio en el territorio, que aporte un valor real y tangible a tanta gente que sufre a diario de la pobreza. El mensaje es, amigos, la pobreza priva al ser humano de bienes esenciales. La pobreza priva al ser humano de oportunidades. La pobreza despoja a hombres y mujeres de sus derechos fundamentales. La pobreza no es tolerable. Y esa condición humana puede y debe cambiarse con políticas públicas y con acciones que mitiguen y eliminen la pobreza. Y para eso estamos aquí. Muchas gracias por todos.
Sure. Maestro. I was following the script.
Well, we would like to express our gratitude to the local authorities who made this event possible and also for their continued support. Queremos expresar nuestro agradecimiento a las autoridades locales que hacen que este evento sea posible. Seguidamente, los estudiantes de la Escuela Agrícola Cerrito entregarán un obsequio a las autoridades locales y a los líderes de la comunidad COM de Cerrito por ese permanente acompañamiento a las acciones de las familias de la localidad en sus planes de salida a la pobreza. Y menciono a la presidente de la Junta Municipal de Benjamín Aceval, doña Marilín Catebeque. También a la concejal de la Municipalidad de Benjamín Aceval, Rebeca Sosa. Al representante de la Gobernación de Villa Haya, también a los líderes COM, cerriteño Alfonso, Crispina Amarilla, Jacobo Torres y Rubén Sosa, y a Licentes. Y les aliento a ustedes a darles un aplauso.
Muchas gracias. Thank you to Joel Bransky and Martin Burt for their opening remarks.
Pastries and juice located at the back because Michael Walton, Carolina Robino, Smita Bagnatar. Gracias. Gracias, muy amables. Perdón, Martín. No, cierto. Smita? Development Research and Strategy at Imago Global School of Government, and is a senior visiting fellow, including a position director of 2 World Development Reports. Michael will now.
As a conversation. First, we've been tasked for poverty elimination, and I'd first like to pose to in New York issues we're going. Smita, she is the referred to employed women formed in response to the perspective that self-employed women, we've known them for many years. It's a quite extraordinary organization. SEWA, the internal and external man, is from the IDRC, the International Development Research. IDRC is, I think, one of the most interesting and important institutional development of think tank action here, but would just like to thank Martin for the invitation. A thinker who is about what is needed, what is new. And I'd like just to three currents of action, top-down targeting paradigm, and the more recent driven by investment, national development of infrastructure, education, is that the government needs targets. Conditional cash transfers would be an example. More recent variation of this, but is very much a response that targeting is not enough, that everybody needs to be given an income in order, and that is because it is less a paradigm, but it's a theme in today's world. And that is a response to a sense that things are not working for many people, the poor or the non-poor. It's often anti-economically nationalist, often anti-globalist, and also has often an affirmation of a core established identity, the macho male, or in India, an affirmation of Hindu identity as being central. So I see this as that with Smita-Ben. Smita-Ben, you have, what would you say are the one or two things?
Thank you. And we feel and we strongly believe that poverty is visibility and recognition to the poor. And poor doesn't need charity, as we all know. For us, the major focus has been that food, which includes water, clothing, shelter, and access to social security, education, finance, pension, insurance, if that is given in the radius of 100 miles, that would be sufficient for the poor. So that's what we start with, and for us it is, we try to organize the women members and build their bargaining power. And second is provide access to capital formation, help them save, help them build up the capital. And everywhere capacity building is interwoven, because we like to link the traditional skills with the technological and the modern links. And so that's how we want to tackle. To answer your question, we need to devise all our programs need-based and demand-driven, and we have to understand the pace. Things cannot be just speeding up. The pace is very important. It's the ownership that the members take, and then things become very sustainable. So we have to be patient. We have to work at their own pace, and also sometimes go to the doorsteps to provide the capacity building and information and knowledge.
Smita-Ben, I was very struck by your first statement that the existence of poverty is a manifestation of violence that has the consent of society. And there's lots of things that you are doing. How does that relate to your central approach of organizing and mobilization?
So we organize the women into groups, that they are trade-wise groups, which builds up the affinity. And then the women themselves turn into, they are always into some kind of an economic activity or not. Yeah. So the SEWA as an organization, we try to provide them with the support to strengthen their micro-enterprises.
Yes.
So we have 4 kind of accesses that we provide. One is capacity building, second is technology, third is access to timely finance, and also market. So we need to provide information in all 4 areas.
Yes.
And also
perspective on this question of what is.
And it's really a privilege for me, and it's a very the other thing I what is meat? We have come a long away from that. But as I was coming here, me shot back. I'm at 10 years of it, and office of multidimensional, very well.
Health status as well as
It's funny, we didn't play. It doesn't know their full potential. And poverty, psychology, the way we see a poor problem, the psychology that to launch is to recognition of it means like have a voice to say, but the point is then
I'm going to come what needs to be different. How are you with
Y el control está, por así llamarlo. El mundo cambió desde como hace poco industrial. Estados Unidos capital, que tienen el talento. Y una de las cosas que nosotros de la lucha de la pobreza que necesita noticia es que hay tecnología y la tecnología da una voz a su talento. El talento. Así que creo que esa es la idea central de cómo dar el
From issues of access to technology is a major question. Be channeled through or not through the issues of organization, reversing the violence.
Es de que esta nueva información, en esta parte del Paraguay, sufren de cita que como cuando la tecnología puede informar y usa la información, la tecnología puede facilitar.
And we know what your experience below.
Extremely good role. One is bring in the voice lobby for, and second is once the many of the people don't even know that such and such policy exists. And even if it is the link between partnerships and linkages wherein the government or the private companies can also come in and access, and that's an information hub that's developed by the community for the community.
That's very interesting. So there's an informational question up and down, but the idea that you need intermediaries in the community, being the co-ops or community leaders, who are active agents vis-a-vis the government is, I think, very important.
One more thing, we cannot run parallel to the government, so we have to be very closely working with them,
Yes.
and there are lots of investments being made. So how do we make the win-win situation?
Yes. Yesterday we had the outgoing World Bank representative, Jesko Henschel, talking with us, who's worked a lot on Paraguay. And he was saying that Paraguay has great policies. The problem is implementation. And I think we're here in an interesting place where how can the activation of the community and the individual become a way of activating what governments have the capacity to do. I'm a big believer that the frontline implementation of agent of a government often wants to do the right thing, but is stuck in a system. Carolina, let's move back to you on what's missing. Oh, no. We need to activate Carolina. We need to empower her. We need to expand
Now it's coming,
Carolina's
now it's
agency.
coming.
Yes.
I'm empowered now. So I think what's still a little bit missing in this discussion is that we really need to bring the social inequality and injustice more close to the poverty elimination discourse and framing and practice. These are not equal concepts, but are very interlinked. And if we miss the injustice, the inequalities, I think we are not going to make much progress in terms of eliminating poverty. Let me put you an example. It's not the same to be a man facing multiple deprivations and not having voice than a woman. We need to bring gender inequality in particular, and that's very close to our agenda, what we have learned from the past and to the Canadian government too, with its feminist economic assistance policy. We need to really bring gender inequality to the fore of poverty elimination efforts. And this does not mean to focus on women. We have a lot of interventions targeting women. We really need to understand how gender-based constraints reinforce some of the multiple deprivations, including the lack of voice, that keep women in poverty. And not having this gender lens can make our efforts fail. And I wanted really to even ask Smita, given their amazing work, we've seen a lot of great women empowerment programs where they gain agency and independent income as a result of the program. But if we don't recognize these underlying power structures, we might even expose women to violence inadvertently. So we really need to engage men if we are going to address women in poverty. And to address gender inequality means really to amplify the conversation, to bring men on board and to really understand those underlying power structures.
Smita, do you have any views on this? I know it's so central to SEWA.
Yeah. So as we work for empowerment of the women, basically we develop their leadership skills, but we work with the family as a unit. But one thing is that we don't go per se straight away like, fight for equality or ask for your rights, but it is gradually that develops. And we work on full income and full employment, self-reliance. So this is the stages that we go through. And when the income starts flowing in, then you have the whole work security, income security, then slowly the family starts accepting. And we have several examples where earlier there was a lot of resistance, and today men and women both come together. So it has to be it is again a process. It is something that's been going on in the society for several years, but we strongly believe asset formation, capital formation makes a whole difference.
Carolina, staying on this theme, but there are many dimensions to social inequality. It can be race, in India it can be caste, it can be religion. How do you see these interacting?
Yeah. Thank you. Again, we didn't plan for this, but what I wanted to say now was that we even, and I'm sorry to be flooding you with these concepts and words. I don't care about the word, I care about the thinking and that these ideas bring to the way we approach poverty. And what Michael is suggesting is that we really need to bring an intersectional lens to poverty elimination efforts, which allow us to see the simultaneous and inseparate exclusions. So what I'm trying to say, what do I mean? I really want to finish with a very concrete example, which I love, from Kimberly Crenshaw, which is one of the lead thinkers on intersectionality. So the experience that gave rise to her conceptualization of intersectionality was a story by an African-American woman called Emma. I don't know if you know Emma's story, but Emma, many years ago, put forth a claim of race and gender discrimination against a local car manufacturing plant. So what happened was Emma, this black American woman, applied for a job in the plant and she was not hired. So she went to court. But the judge dismissed her case because the manufacturing car firm did hire African Americans, so they had the tick on the race. And they did hire women, so they had the tick on the gender. However, the African American hired, usually for the industrial shops, were all men. And the women hired, usually for the secretarial work, were white. So where did Emma fall? The judge did not saw the double exclusion. He was not framing the issue with this intersectional lens. He was seeing it from a racial lens and from a gender lens. He was not able to see the intersection. So we have come a long way to understand, frame and act upon poverty in its multiple dimensions. We recognize the role of agency, the role of power. I think if we really want to move forward, we really need to acknowledge this intersectionality to really leave no one behind.
These multiple deprivations, not in deprivations of living, but in agency and power, are complicated and interact, and we need somehow a system that they can be expressed and the system can respond. I want to come back to these issues in a moment, but I want to get back to Martín now.
Si contamos la población por individuos, los hombres van a ganar siempre. Nosotros, cuando cambiamos la unidad de medida y dejamos de contar individuos y contamos familia, ahí surge la mujer. Entonces imagínense que Paraguay no tiene 7 millones de habitantes, sino solamente 1.600.000 familias. Y si se le permite al jefe de hogar, generalmente una mujer, a que conteste cuáles son las fortalezas y las necesidades de esa familia, ahí la mujer tiene voz. Nosotros estamos encontrando que la voz de las mujeres surge cuando se cambia la manera como se cuenta la población. Nosotros trabajamos con decenas de miles de mujeres y nos hemos encontrado con la terrible situación de que cualquier programa de empoderamiento de mujeres muchas veces resulta en violencia contra las mujeres. Porque está hecho desde un punto de vista de género, es decir, se le da un micropréstamo de $200, de $500 y la mujer progresa y el hombre no sabe qué hacer. Entonces estamos muy preocupados porque no vamos a lograr empoderar a las mujeres si es que no cambiamos la educación de nosotros los hombres. En la fundación hemos comenzado con una iniciativa de nuevas masculinidades, porque los hombres no tenemos herramientas. ¿Qué pasa cuando mi mujer o mi esposa gana más que yo? ¿Qué pasa si ella tiene acceso a más tecnología que yo? ¿Qué pasa? Los hombres, dentro de nuestra cultura machista, no sabemos dialogar, no sabemos respetar nuestras diferencias y muchísimos usan la violencia. Yo no sé si ahora hay más información sobre los femicidios o es que hay más femicidios.
I think it's wonderful that you're engaging with the concept of masculinity in today's world, that it's not just a question of empowering women, that and a theme that we've had is recognizing that empowering one is within an overall power structure. That may be within a family and can sometimes lead to a reaction of violence, but also I referred earlier to the populistic response. A lot of this around the world has been driven in the US by white males who feel they are being left out and are being left out. In India, there is a resurgence of Hindu nationalism. How do we think about kind of responding to this, recognizing that these are genuine currents of emotion that are being often manipulated by political entrepreneurs, whilst still engaging with this necessity to empower the poor? Who would like to?
No,
Carolina.
Yeah, I just want to continue with that line of reasoning because I think sometimes words don't help. And when we raise the issue of new masculinities and gender and feminism, then you had, this huge reaction. So I don't care about the term as long as you acknowledge these power structures, which are leaving key parts of our population outside, and you engage in a meaningful dialogue and understand what needs to be done to change in power structures. These take time. Now, besides, right now, you need to acknowledge that those changes take time, but I think we need to do that.
We have to be impatient for change, and we have to be individually.
Exactly. So coaching, mentoring, hacking to the youth now, to have this great change brought, talking about know your body and how to protect your body, continuous mentoring.
Martin, so you think about the role of mentoring and whatever that means.
Dentro de esta concepción de evitar el individualismo extremo, una solución es la familia. La otra solución es de que nadie puede salir adelante solo. Se necesita para bajar de peso algún acompañamiento, para comenzar una cuenta de ahorro algún acompañamiento. Si la familia quiere generar más ingreso, algún acompañamiento. Por eso que nosotros decimos que nuestra metodología es una nueva manera de medir, pero una política de acompañamiento. Nosotros creemos que si Paraguay no tiene 7 millones de habitantes, pero tiene solamente 1.600.000 familias, a razón de un trabajador social o un extensionista por 200 familias, con solo 8.000 funcionarios públicos existentes que ya están, que se le asigne a cada funcionario 200 familias, se llega a las 1.600.000 familias. O sea que se puede realmente, y acá en la comunidad de Cerrito nosotros tenemos esa relación, y las familias necesitan que alguien le visite, le diga, señora González, la última vez que hablamos su prioridad era ahorro, disposición de basura, generar más ingreso, hablar con la municipalidad para tener caminos a todo tiempo. Y en la medida en que la familia avanza, puede ir solucionando algunos problemas y puede ir incorporando, pero tiene que haber un acompañamiento. La buena noticia es que ese acompañamiento ahora con una aplicación se hace mucho más rápido, y nosotros tenemos aquí en esta comunidad trabajadores que van con su teléfono y ahí van apuntando los avances que han habido. Solamente aquí en Cerrito comenzamos y habían 14.000 necesidades de las 1.000 familias aproximadamente, lo que nosotros llamamos rojos y amarillos. En el primer año se bajó de 14.000 necesidades a 8.000 necesidades. Algunas familias lograron 5 avances, otras 7, otras 2. Para este año estamos queriendo bajar a 4.000 necesidades. Pero el acompañamiento, porque tiene que haber un enlace entre la familia y la municipalidad, entre la familia y la venta. Hay metodologías que pueden volver muy ágil y muy rica la experiencia.
I'd like to see if there are any questions or comments from the floor now. I think we have microphones if there are any. Yes. No, I think we need the microphone for the translation. Yeah. Ah. Oh, okay. Why don't you just say it, and I will repeat for the translation. Either. Okay.
Hola.
Okay.
Lo que me interesa es básicamente la diferencia entre la política versus la implementación. Yo antes trabajé en Amazon como gerente en un depósito de desarrollo y investigaciones, y yo estuve en la parte de operaciones, pero trabajé mucho con el equipo de ingeniería, desarrollando robots para los depósitos. Y básicamente nosotros practicamos mucho la interacción de la implementación con la tecnología. Y acá en Paraguay, lo que me interesa mucho al vivir en Coronel Oviedo, en el interior, es la falta de buenas técnicas y prácticas en la implementación. Y vemos muchas buenas ideas que vienen de Asunción, y después mucha falta de buena implementación en el interior. Y empezamos a hablar sobre una idea que vino de un profesor de Harvard que conocí hace 2 años, que dijo que no hace falta la innovación en la educación internacional específicamente. Pero él básicamente dijo que el problema por el momento no es la tecnología, es la buena implementación. Y a veces cuando escucho proyectos de tecnología siempre me hace pensar en cómo están implementando y cuáles son los procesos para asegurar que el equipo hace bien el trabajo, ¿verdad? Pero cuando hablo con otras organizaciones, esa es la parte básicamente que ellos ignoran. No es la parte sexy. La parte sexy es la innovación, y ellos no quieren hablar mucho sobre cómo implementan sus proyectos y cuáles son los pasos, solo quieren hablar sobre la idea. Entonces mi pregunta es, ¿Cuáles comentarios ustedes tienen? Si ustedes están de acuerdo que el primer paso puede ser la implementación, o si eso viene juntos con la implementación, y si nosotros sabemos que eso es el problema, ¿por qué no enfocamos y hacemos algo para mejorar la implementación de esas ideas?
Great, thank you. Let me, a couple more and then we'll, yes, any more? Yes, over here. Thank you.
Gracias. Muy buenos días. Mi pregunta va para Martín Burr y para Smita. Martín, agarrando un poco lo que dijo también la compañera acá, ¿verdad? De la implementación de la tecnología. ¿Cómo ustedes van a aplicar eso en el interior del país, considerando la cultura del paraguayo, ¿verdad? Vamos a ir partiendo de la cultura propia del paraguayo. La mayoría de los paraguayos no sabemos leer. Al momento de leer no se entiende lo que uno lee. No sé cuánto es el nivel de gente que lee pero no entiende lo que está leyendo. Entonces, está bien que se implemente la tecnología. Yo soy partidaria de la tecnología, pero ¿cómo implementar a esa gente que prácticamente no tiene una base sólida de educación? Y mi pregunta para Smita es, ¿cómo surgió esta idea de organizar a las mujeres, de empoderar ahí en la India, considerando la historia y la cultura propia del país también? Porque es muy diferente India con Paraguay, por ejemplo, al momento de empoderar a las mujeres. Me interesa mucho la historia y también las políticas que ustedes usan para la autogestión de las mujeres.
Great, should we start with, we have one more, then.
Hi, I'm Larry Reed with Results, and we've been doing work looking at ultra poverty, that there's a class of poverty even below extreme poverty. Characteristics would be people at survival level who often go many days a year with no food at all, who are struggling every day to find food for their family, may work as day laborers but not consistently. And for these people, just surviving each day occupies almost all of their mental capacity. What have you found, how have you been able to empower people who haven't begun to think about empowerment yet, who are just thinking about getting enough food to eat for that day?
Very good. Smita, there's one specifically to you and then to Martin.
Yeah, so very good questions and very relevant ones. First and foremost, what I would like to say is there a demand? Does the community need it? We should understand what is it that they need and develop the whole technology as per their needs. So it's straight away taking some available technology and taking back to them is not going to work. In our experience, we also have, I think when we started, we had almost all illiterate women. And in India, there are several languages as well. So we have devised all the applications in a participatory manner, working with them and adapting to the needs. Of course, trying to make use of the pictorial aspect so that the reading doesn't come. And we also have a very small program which just gives them literacy in terms of understanding their work, not the whole formal education. But yes, technology has to be considerably adapted and it has to be jointly developed in a participatory manner, working with the members. And one thing that I would like to add is it has to be accessible, they can affordable, so it has to be low cost, gender friendly in our case, and that's when it is going to be used. And then we work on taking it to the community leaders, we call them as a master trainers. So first we test it, we do all the pilots through them, and then it is being rolled out by the community members, then it becomes easy. We have 3 applications which we have designed, and all have been made in-house working with our members, and it has to be continuously adapted. Again, patience is needed. We have to keep on adapting. We have rolled out, piloted one, doesn't work, okay, cancel, come back to another. So it's a lot of investment which we need to make, and it would then work in a sustainable long-term manner once they own it. So we really have to be patient. We are criticized a lot that we are very slow in implementing programs, but we are not worried about that because we want to deepen and strengthen that. So we have to have that investment made in the entire process, which is very important.
Smita, I know you say works, many of your members really are the poorest of the poor and resonate as we heard from the gentleman. What is your experience about working with really very poor women who are just literally struggling to get through the day?
Well, can I share an example?
Yes, absolutely.
So we are working with a very, very poor women, and one of the cases that I would like to share is the women who are families who migrate from their villages and go to the desert, work 6 to 8 months in the desert, and they are the inland salt farmers. And they have a very, very tragic life and very meager income that they get. How do we bring in technology in their work so that it reduces drudgery, reduces costs? So they make use of pumps to bring water from the brines. So after continuous years of discussions with them, we understood their process, we understood the whole system where they spend and what is the kind of drudgery they go through. And today we have brought in solar technology to them. And then we piloted just with 5 farmers. So initially we had those diesel pumps replaced to electric pumps and now solar pumps, which has reduced their cost by almost 70%. And just earlier where they had to, do a lot of physical labor, which hurt the women. And now just it is with the press of a button. But again, it's not a cheap technology. So how do we link up with the financial institutions? How does the whole cooperative come in as a collateral? And then it reaches all to the women. So it's the holistic approach that needs to be looked into, because the poor needs to be really organized. So in order to be, they say that, okay, what is the guarantee or what is the collateral that is? So the strength is the collective groups.
That's very interesting. So, there has to be something that actually provides relief, saving of effort to create the space, plus the community organization, plus the linkage with the formal system, be that government or financial, in order to really affect change. Martín.
Sí, son 3 preguntas. La primera pregunta es, todo el mundo habla de buenas políticas, pero el problema es la implementación. Y nadie quiere. Nosotros tenemos una buena experiencia con la implementación. Estamos trabajando en el interior profundo y estamos trabajando con unas 55.000 mujeres organizadas en 3.500 grupos. Y funciona como un reloj por la capacitación que hacemos a nuestros agentes de cambio. Es implementación, metodología, procesos y control. O sea que con el tema de puede trabajar con mujeres en una cultura machista donde muchas no saben leer ni escribir, y si saben leer no comprenden lo que leen. Justamente una de las características de los avances tecnológicos es que se puede usar tecnología para que las personas, en el caso del semáforo de eliminación de pobreza, es con dibujos. Entonces la pregunta es, a veces nos ahorra amarillo, también con una figura, y mi familia nunca ahorra y hay una... Entonces la encuesta que tenemos es una encuesta visual y o sea, la tecnología permite ese tema. Y con respecto a los ultra, sabemos que si hay una persona que no tiene comida, eso no le define a esa persona. A lo mejor le ocupa todo el tiempo, pero si se le permite a la persona reflexionar sobre en qué no está muerta de hambre, literalmente, situación de esclavitud rural, y soy una mujer oprimida y me explotan en el desierto o en el cañaveral, etcétera, pero tengo yo otras, a lo mejor puedo ver y no necesito anteojos, los talentos y las fortalezas invisibles de la persona.
Carolina, I wonder if you have a view from being part of the funding core of it's sexy when some of if you do not marry those to implementation of the government and supporting organizations from below to grow, it will be captured by the rich or the middle and they will still be left out. But that...
Deslumbrados by the power of technology, but we really need to acknowledge that technology alone is not a solution. It's really about, I think, really understanding technology for what. And I really think it's a key component of scaling strategies, scaling up strategies. But only if that technology it provides also some cases cost-effective solutions, because when the magnitude of the challenges are so large, and when we learn mentoring is so important, it's one of the key determinant of costs in many of these effective programs. So really how you can combine technology with not losing the personal interaction. So this idea of the actions that people need. And for that, and again, I don't want to bring this to our own agenda, but I think we really need to have more time to monitor and to evaluate the way we work, the way great organizations that say we work, and allow them, because they are so busy assessing. And I think donors have a key role to play to facilitate that time for those organizations to be able to learn and reflect and act upon the research and the learning.
Great. We are wrapping up now. Discussion which has, in a way, recognized the complexity of the interaction between building agency from below, that empowerment also means engaging with power structures, be it of masculinity, to do with race, or the existing structures, that you have to match technology to both the individual but also the collective. And there's a central issue around how from below individuals, groups, organizations can make the government or the market work better. Any final comments in the last minute? Should we go in reverse, or Smita Ben, you're ready?
So just finally, I would like to just
1 minute
say
each.
we believe a lot in women to women.
So from our side, like, we truly believe on local driven ideas and the share of knowledge. And so I think we also need more cerritos. I want to reiterate.
Sí, y como comentario principal es el empoderamiento de las familias, pero no control sobre quién necesita capacitación, quién necesita atención dental, el único que se fortalece es el gobierno, pero si podemos fortalecer a las familias, incluso el gobierno va a hacer mejor su trabajo, pero la unidad, la unidad tiene que ser la familia. Gracias.
Very good. So I want to thank the panel between the individual, the disempowered individual, organization, and the front line of government. We need still to take this back to the level of national policy, the structure of markets, and to combat some of the current trends around populist economic and social policy. So thank you very much, Martín, Carolina, and Smita Ben, for starting the conference.
Muy bien.
Thank you to the opening panel for setting the tone for our gathering sessions. They will each have 2 minutes for their elevator pitches. After this, you will choose which with signs in the back of the room. After your session, we will break out for lunch in the dining room, and we ask that you be back by 2:30 p.m. There is an option to have lunch with students.
To continue with our session, I would like first to, so welcome. Thank you. Now, Lynn Anderson and Bjorn Smitke is going to be talking about the hackathon. We'll be talking about from nets to trampolines session. Jessamine, please.
Hello, I am Jasmine Shams Lau. I work with a small to tell you a little bit about why you should come to our session. So we're going to be talking about the really important, so what's broken in those relationships and some of the steps that we can take to fix them as well. So anybody who provides funding, and it will be fun, it will be honest, it will be practical. We hope that you will laugh as well. A little bit more magical, a little bit more supercharged and get our work done in a better way. And as a Chaco unicorn, these unicorns have been raised and trained here at the agricultural school. You may have heard about this special program. And these unicorns have been trained so you're washing up. So you should come to our session.
Wonderful. Now let's hear about Lynn Anderson and Christian Cardonel have to say about their session after this presentation.
Good morning, everyone. Available for social entrepreneurship. So it's a huge universe with millions. And seriously, what we can do is give you a process for thinking about how to approach investors. If that's what you're interested, we can give you a process for social entrepreneurs and you're needing money. This might be a good session to attend.
Como dijo Lynn, nuestra sesión va a ser sobre Social Impact Investing, sobre inversiones de impacto, qué significan y sobre dónde el capitalismo tiene que ir. Es la única salida que tiene el mundo para realmente combatir a la pobreza en forma global, articular en un fondo aparte, pero lo que vamos a discutir y mucho de interacción con ustedes es viene, ¿no?
Thank you. Bjorn, please, educate.
Founded something called Penguin Academy here in Paraguay. Actually, it's 1 year now. We have 25 students from Paraguay that went through a very intensive 2 weeks coding boot camp. So they learned how to code, and they learned how to code. In this session, they will pitch what they created. They have created products that help them prepare their pitches, and they will pitch on the stage for a small investment. So the best idea, we will help them to go forward. So if you want to see a really training right now.
Thank you. And now Laura Morinigo from Let's Do Trampolines.
Pero primero les quiero hacer algunas preguntas. ¿Te gustaría saber cuál es uno de los programas de inclusión productiva y social más efectivo a nivel mundial? Además, ¿querés saber también cómo la tecnología ha contribuido para poder escalar este programa? También, ¿te gustaría saber qué casos de alianza público-privadas han impactado positivamente en la comunidad? ¿Y te gustaría, por último, entender el potencial de la inclusión de perspectiva y formación? Yo te invito a que formes parte del panel de redes a trampolines, la igualdad de género para mejorar programas de protección social. Les esperamos. Muchas gracias.
For the sessions, and we ask you to please follow the signs of your sessions around the room. Thank you.